long days, pleasant nights, and welcome to Season 2 of Kingslingers, a Doof Media podcast experiencing, exploring, and analyzing the novels of Stephen King that connect to the Dark Tower series. My name is Scott Daly, and I am a constant reader, tower junkie, and I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. I'm a King obsessive.
And I'm Matt Freeman, and I'm the guy Scott drew through a door on a beach to go on this journey with him. Up until season 1 of this show, I'd only read 2 Stephen King novels, Carrie and Needful Things, but now I've also read the entirety of the Dark Tower series and have finally earned my constant reader badge.
That's right, Matt. But the Dark Tower wasn't enough for you, and it's never enough for me. Enter season 2 of this podcast.
In this season of the show, we'll be taking a look at 8 novels and short stories that lie on the path of the beam. Stories that circle Stephen King's magnum opus directly and indirectly. Scott, what books will we be chatting about in season 2?
We'll be reading, discussing, and analyzing Salem's Lot, Insomnia, Low Men in Yellow Coats, Everything's Eventual, The Eye of the Dragon, The Talisman, Black House, and finally, The Stand.
That's a lot of books.
It sure is. Maybe too many books for one season, but it's too late now. We're doing this. We're committed to it.
Yeah. If you followed us on our journey to the tower, what you'll see here is more of the same. We'll be diving in depth into these books and discussing them chapter by chapter, analyzing the writing, the themes, and trying to understand what King is trying to say and why he's so damn good at it.
And once again, I will be fleeing across the desert, and Matt will be following, as I've read all of these novels before, and he's read, well, none of them, Matt. You've read none of these books.
Mm-hmm.
But our love is always the Dark Tower. So as we go through each of these stories, we'll always have Roland and his obsession in his mind. What do these books tell us about the universe and the dark object at its center? That will be one of the questions we're asking ourselves again and again throughout this journey. And we'll find out the answers together.
Yay.
Matt, I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. We finished season 1 and we were like, not enough, had to keep going. And here we are. I want to get an idea from you. I just read the list of books. What are you most excited about on this journey?
I mean, several of these are ones where at various times I've been like, oh, I want to pick that one up, and then been extremely angry that I couldn't just immediately pick it up because of the project we're doing. But I mean, I am really excited about Salem's Lot, which is the one that we will be starting immediately.
Yeah.
I'm also really excited about Insomnia because that just sounds like really weird and interesting. The Eyes of the Dragon is one that sounds particularly fun because personally for me, because it has if I'm not mistaken, it is a midworld book. It might be, I don't know, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay, I'm not just going to name all of these, but pretty much all of them at a certain point I've been like, oh yeah, I got to read The Stand. Obviously got to read The Stand. Oh, Black House. I've heard such good things, So yeah, I'm excited about all of them actually, which is I think a good place to be in because I think I would have gone out and read all these books anyway, even if we weren't doing this project. Yeah,
I mean, I like you were saying, I think there are times when you reached out to me and said, "Can I go read Salem's Lot?" And I said, "No, not allowed." So I'm unleashing you now, kind of chapters at a time. Not fully unleashed.
I think I'm particularly curious to understand more about King's view on vampires and how he does vampires.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And I'm really excited about this very first book. I think Salem's Lot is just a perfect one to start with here in our second season. Mm-hmm. I think one of the other things I'm excited about is we don't have to be quite as strict with our schedule this time around. And what I mean by that is not that we're going to like take our mosey on through, and we're still going to be here every week. We're still going to be walking through these books. But when we were doing the Dark Tower, I was anxious to get to the next part of the Dark Tower always. So we would finish a book and then we dive right into the other book. Since all these books are separate, it's not one story leading into another. We don't have to dive right into the next book right away. We can have some episodes between those books where we go off and do random fun things in the King universe. We've talked about doing an episode on the comic books that neither of us have ever read. We've talked about doing an episode going back and revisiting The Gunslinger from the perspective of people that know how it ends and seeing if we can glean any more information from that book. We've talked about doing all these things, and they never fit in our old schedule because we were like, we can't we can't not move on to Wizard and Glass after the end of the Wastelands. You can't do that. But this series and this season has a lot more opportunities to kind of say, okay, before we get into Insomnia, we're going to take a week and do this fun thing. So I'm kind of excited about our ability to stretch out a little bit. I want more guests on the show. I still want these episodes, the normal everyday episodes, to be just you and me going through these things. But I think there's opportunities to chat with some other people, both in the Stephen King podcasting community and beyond. So I'm going to be looking to do that. We wanted to do that on every single overview episode in season 1. Didn't really work out. Entirely my fault because I'm bad at organizing and planning. But hopefully in season 2 we'll get to do more of that. So I think it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really exciting, and it's gonna be more of what you love, and hopefully some new things that you might love too.
Yeah, so it's not just another trip to the tower. It's going to be an entirely different adventure with a lot more kind of open space, and we have a lot of fun ideas with which to fill up that open space.
Absolutely.
All right. So make sure you check out the show schedule linked in the show notes of this introduction and every episode to find out which chapters and sections we'll be covering each week.
Yes, it all begins this Thursday, May 13th, as we start King's second novel ever and home to our old friend, Per Callahan. We're going to be talking about season Salem's Lot.
Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at kingslingerspod. Find us on Instagram at doofmedia. Subscribe to the subreddit r/doofmedia.
All right, folks, we'll see you in the lot. Long days and pleasant nights.
And as always, may you have twice the number.